Hey, this is Anthony Cesari with SuccessForYourSongs.com, and in this video we're going to be talking about how to write words to music in a way that will keep your melody singable without your melodies or your lyrics sounding wordy or awkward when you're delivering them. And I'm going to be playing a clip for you of an interview I did with Cliff Goldmacher. He's been a staff songwriter in Nashville and has had some great songwriting collaborators like Mickey Hart, Lisa Loeb, and Kesha, amongst others. So he's got a lot of great ideas on this topic of writing words to music. So check out what he has to say about that here. And then I think another important thing when you're writing lyrics and you start to combine them with melody is to not have these lyrics sound wordy in your melody. So are there ways to know if your lyrics are wordy? Because this is another one of those things I think that you can get lost in when you're just writing and not even realize that it's happening.
Sure.
So is there any approach that you're conscious of that helps you to create melodies and lyrics together that don't end up sounding wordy and have like a flowing melody that people are actually interested in hearing?
So, let's talk about this from the lyric side just for a second.
Mm-hmm.
I think I always refer to this as the Hippocratic Oath of lyric writing,
Okay.
which is do no harm. Because the reality is that for the first 5, 6, 7, 8 times, if you're lucky enough to have someone listen to your song that many times, that someone listens to your song, they're not really listening to the words.
Right.
The only thing that words can do in those first couple listens is distract someone in a bad way. So if your song is too wordy, if it's awkward, if the emphasis is on the wrong syllable, all
Right.
of those sorts of things, it's just going to distract someone.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you've just killed your song before you even had a chance to get the message of the song across.
Right.
So when it comes to something that sounds too wordy or maybe sounds awkward, when in doubt, say less and make sure it sounds good when it's being sung. That's the difference between a lyric and a poem, by the way, is that you have to sing a lyric. So it better sound good.
Mm.
That's why the word baby comes up so often in songs and the word Nicaragua comes up so rarely.
Right.
Right? It's because one sounds really good to sing with a long A and a long E, and the other one, not so much.
Right. Right.
So when it comes to identifying that in your songs, again, don't edit too much early on. But one of my favorite things to do when I edit a lyric is take things out.
Mm.
Take out all the justs and the that's and the extra conjunctions and all of that stuff that are in there because you feel like they make it read better. You can do a little bit of abstract, let your listeners connect the dots as long as the serious distilled stuff is in there.
Right. Or maybe choose words that mean the same thing but are smaller, just
Yes.
because that's more likely to fit a melody a little bit better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And really, really don't underestimate the value of how a word sounds sung.
Right. Because so much of it is about that vowel sound that's being held out.
Yeah.
That if you have these longer words that don't have an opportunity for that, that can contribute to wordiness, I think, in lyric writing.
Absolutely. And don't forget to leave a little room. Not every single beat has to be filled with a word.
Right. And that's not to say, too, that, you have to write your melody first.
Nope.
But I think you want to be thinking about the melody.
Yeah.
Or at least like rhythm, words that have a certain rhythm to them.
A phrasing and a feel to
Right.
them. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's right.
Thanks for all the information that you provided. Any last things that you'd like to plug, or your website and that kind of thing?
Well, only because we talked about it today.
Yeah.
I have 4 brand new courses. So there are 2 courses for songwriters in the studio, which is Dare to Demo and Studio Standout. But I also have a course specifically about pitching called Pitch Perfectly. And then a final one, which is an overview on what it really means to be a professional songwriter called Creating a Career. And in that, I break down everything from what a typical week in my life looks like in terms of the kind of work that I'm doing. And that's just a general overview of what it means to be a professional songwriter and how you can start to point yourself in that direction. And that's all at cliffgoldmacher.com/learn.
Okay,
is where.
great. So we can really get into depth on some of this stuff that we started to talk about here.
That's exactly right.
Awesome. All right, so writing lyrics that fit well in your melody, as we talked about here, is one way to keep your songs memorable. But there are a lot of other techniques that will also help you write memorable songs. So below this video, I've got a free cheat sheet for you that will show you an easy technique you actually already learned in grade school, but you're not using, which is going to help you write much more memorable songs. So grab that below if you haven't already. And I've also got a link for Cliff's website where you can learn more about him and what he teaches songwriters. So thanks again for checking this out, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Take care.